respect Federal Court's decision and position of the Federal Constitution. Berita Economic Congress 2024 will be more inclusive. Good evening and Salam Malaysia Madani. You're watching Malaysia Tonight. I'm SAHIH. Sultan of Selangor, Sultan Sharifuddin Idris Shah, today said that all parties should respect the decision of the Federal Court and the position of the Federal Constitution as the supreme law of the country. His Highness said in regard to the issues concerning the Kelantan Sharia Criminal Code enactment, the most important thing to do is to look into possible methods of spending the competencies of the State Legislative Assembly to enact Sharia criminal laws within the framework set by the Federal Constitution. This includes looking into the need to propose amendments to certain provisions in the Federal Constitution and or any other related federal laws. This is to ensure that the power of the State Legislative Assembly to enact Sharia criminal law is enshrined in the Federal Constitution without any ambiguity. His Highness said this when presiding over the 71st meeting of the National Council of Islamic Religious Affairs MKI in Putrajaya today. Earlier on 9th February, the Federal Court, in an 8-1 majority decision, allowed an application to nullify 16 provisions under Kelantan Sharia Criminal Code Enactment 2019. On a related note, the federal government welcomed Sultan of Selangor, Sultan Sharifuddin Idris Shah's decree. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim said that the decree of the Selangor ruler as chairman of the National Council of Islamic Religious Affairs (MKI) also came at the right time to reduce the rising political heat. He said he viewed the decree as a firm statement in safeguarding the spirit of the Federal Constitution.
Maka apa yang dititah oleh Tuanku Sultan Selangor ialah merujuk kepada keputusan Mahkamah Persekutuan. Malaysia ini negara hukum. Negara hukum maknanya patuh pada prinsip perlembagaan. Jadi keputusan Mahkamah Persekutuan itu menurut Tuanku Sultan Selangor dihormati kerana Mahkamah Persekutuan tunduk kepada hukum dan semangat perlembagaan. Tidak timbul nak meringankan atau meremehkan kedudukan Mahkamah Syariah.
Aman Palestine Berhad, Aman Palestine Executive Chairman and its Chief Executive Officer CEO were among 3 individuals charged in the Shah Alam Sessions Court today with 164 counts of criminal breach of trust (CBT), cheating and money laundering involving tens of millions of ringgit in the company's fund. The Executive Chairman, Abdullah Zaid Abdul Rahman, 58, CEO Awang Sufian Awang Piut, 52, and a Director of an investment company, Khairuddin Muhammad Ali, 49, pleaded, however, not guilty to all charges which were read out before Judge Datuk Anita Harun. Abdullah Zaid and Awang Sufian, in their capacity as directors of Samudra Champa Sdn Bhd, Samudra Champa, who were entrusted with property amounting to more than 20 million ringgit belonging to Aman Palestine, were each charged with 52 counts of CBT of the property, a bank in Bandar Baru Bangi, between 12 March 2018 and 3 November 2023. They were charged under Section 409 of the Penal Code, which provides imprisonment for up to 20 years, whipping and a fine if convicted. They are also jointly charged with 19 counts of cheating by deceiving the Aman Palestine Board of Trustees into handing over 39 million ringgit in cash to Samudra Champa for the purchase of gold, whereby the purchase price was lower. And coming out, world needs new trade agenda to push forward. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim said today the Bumiputra Economic Congress 2024, KEB 2024, scheduled to take place from 29 February to 2nd March, will be more inclusive. The Premier said KEB 2024 is expected to have cooperation and joint participation from the Chinese and Indian communities to help tackle the problem of poverty in addition to discussing issues related to the Bumiputra economy. He yesterday officiated at the pre-launch ceremony of the Bumiputra Economic Congress KEB 2024. The Premier said he will also invite business chamber leaders representing the Malay, Chinese and the Indian communities next week to provide their views and input so that KEB 2024 is not considered exclusive.
Kerana pendekatan kita inklusif, maknanya dalam membicarakan ekonomi Bumiputra, ada isu-isu SME atau kelompok India miskin akan kita tangani bersama.
In the meantime, Datuk Sri Anwar also assured that the government will continue the program to eradicate poverty in the country regardless of race. He confirmed that the eradication of extreme poverty in 3 states, namely Kuala Lumpur, Melaka and Negeri Sembilan, has reached 100% status. Malaysia is set to host the International Medical Technology Exhibition and Conference Asian MedTech 2024. The event, organised by the Medical Device Authority (MDA), is expected to attract over 250 exhibition companies and 10,000 visitors from 25 countries. Health Minister Dato Sri Dr. Zulkifli Ahmad also informed that the event will also involve international trade activities as well as entrepreneurial matchmaking.
Asian MedTech 2024 will play a critical pivotal role in strengthening and solidifying Malaysia's position as the key hub for medical technology development in Asia. And with that, we estimated with that global medical technology market estimated at USD 536. They're about 15 to 20 billion. The events aligns Malaysia's NIMP, the new industrial master plan that will put the NIMP in its perspective, driven by, among other things, this event of MedTech 2024.
Speaking at the Asian MedTech 2024 pre-launching ceremony in Putrajaya, he also said the event will serve as a launchpad for groundbreaking innovations. It will also bolster Malaysia's reputation as a preferred destination for medical device manufacturing and supply chain activities. Asian MedTech will take place for 3 days at the Kuala Lumpur Convention Centre, starting 10 until 12 December later this year. On a related note, the medical device sector is projected to contribute 20 billion ringgit to the country's economy this year, supported by the increase in domestic and foreign investments in the sector. Medical Device Authority Malaysia (MDA) Chief Executive Dr. P. Muralidharan said the sector contributed 15.1 billion ringgit last year, which included foreign and domestic investment as well as business expansion and the procurement of a related equipment. Several foreign countries have pledged to invest and start their operations in Malaysia, such as the Czech Republic and China. Dr. Muralidharan said Malaysia's total market share in the medical technology and medical devices segment stood at around 8 to 10% of the global market, worth 536 billion euros in 2021. As such, Malaysia aims to increase the market share to about 10 to 15% within the next few years.
Sebab tahun ni kita dapati ada beberapa foreign countries dia dah memberi pledge untuk melabur dan juga untuk memulakan operasi di Malaysia seperti Czech Republic dan China. Jadi unjuran itu kita jangka dia boleh mencecah hampir 20 bilion tahun ni unjuran.
The government has listed the medical device sector as one of the key sectors in the National Industrial Master Plan 2030 alongside other major sectors. Dr. Muralidharan said this is the first time this sector has been acknowledged at a national level as one of the economic contributors to boost the nation's economy, adding that the sector has created about 80,000 jobs since 2010. The world needs a new trade agenda which is not the regurgitation of old cliches but rather a fresh approach to steer nations away from racing to the bottom but to push forward for the race to the top together. Deputy Investment, Trade and Industry Minister Liu Chintong said the new trade agenda would have to ensure workers are well paid and both advanced economies as well as developing countries could sustain a robust middle class.
We must ensure that our economy, whatever we do, we must ensure that trade put climate at the center. We must ensure that trade actually doesn't disadvantages workers. We will need to think about paying workers well.
Beyond the agenda of facilitating trade and investment, Malaysia must also emerge as a stalwart champion of dialogue and understanding, a proactive force promoting economic stability and sustainability in our region. He said that through open communication, shared interests and commitment to economic cooperation, APEC members can bridge divides and fortify a more resilient Asia-Pacific. In order to tap into and leverage on the boundless opportunities for growth, Liu said public-private partnerships and cooperation between APEC governments and the private sector is key to achieve tangible outcomes. Almost 70% of Malaysia's 225 billion ringgit approved investments are in the digital economy. Investment, Trade and Industry Minister Tengku Datuk Seri Zafrul Abdul Aziz, in a recent interview with United States-based news network CNN, explained that Malaysia has what it takes to power artificial intelligence AI and bring the whole ecosystem into the country. Elaborating further on the matter, Tengku Datuk Seri Zafrul said there are concerns about an AI in general on the impact on society. However, it cannot be denied that AI will bring a better quality of life by enabling all sorts of professions to do their work more efficiently. On the proposal for some form of blanket minimum wage rise across ASEAN nations, the minister highlighted the importance of ensuring wages do go up. He said the country's inflation is manageable based on its economic fundamentals. The inflation rate in 2023 recorded at about 2.5% and unemployment continues to be low at about 3.3%. He noted that based on these fundamentals, the government must ensure that whatever increase in wages is linked to increasing productivity, and that is why he stresses investment in the green and digital economy because it increases the economic complexity of a country and its industries. Malaysia's first highway business trust to be listed, Prolintas Infra Business Trust, aims to launch its initial public offering IPO on the main market of Bursa Malaysia Securities Berhad in the first quarter of 2024. In a statement today, Project Lintasan Kota Holdings Sdn Bhd Prolintas said that the IPO exercise would encompass the listing exercise via a business trust structure comprising 4 highways that have been acquired from Prolintas by the trustee manager, Prolintas Managers Sdn Bhd. The highways are the Ampang Kuala Lumpur Elevated Highway AKLE, Gatri Corridor Expressway GCE, Lebuh Raya Kemuning Shah Alam LKSA and Sistem Lingkaran Lebuh Raya Kajang Siok. The investment holdings company said the IPO would involve the offer for sale by Prolintas of 539 million existing units in Prolintas Infra BT, representing 49% of the total units in issue. Prolintas said that out of the IPO units available for retail offering, 18.25 million units would be allocated to directors and senior management of the trustee manager, eligible employees of the trustee manager and companies held under Prolintas Infra BT, as well as persons who have contributed to its success. Furthermore, 27.5 million units are reserved for application by the Malaysian public via balloting. The Department of Statistics Malaysia, DOSM, said the total number of jobs increased by 2.1% to 8.94 million openings in the fourth quarter of 2023 from 8.76 million jobs during the same period in the year before. Chief Statistician Dato Sri Dr. Muhammad Uzair Mahidin said the number of filled positions also saw a 2.1% increase to 8.74 million positions in quarter 4 2023 compared to 8.56 million in quarter 4 2022, while the number of vacant positions decreased by 1.1%. He also said that more than half of job vacancies in quarter 4 2023 were in the semi-skilled category, comprising 55.5%, followed by skill 25.3% and 19.2% in the low-skill category. He said the field position rate remained high at 97.9%, while job creation in quarter 4 2023 increased by 0.6%. Analysing the field job scenario in quarter 4 2023, Dato Sri Dr. Muhammad Uzair said the agricultural sector registered the highest growth at 3.6%, followed by manufacturing 2.4% and services 2.2%. Muhammad Uzair also said a total of 31,100 new positions were created to meet domestic demand and industrial needs in quarter 4 2023. He said the fourth quarter of 2023 saw moderate growth amid the lingering macroeconomic headwinds, geopolitical conflict, and cautious business sentiment going into the year 2024. Nevertheless, he added that the labour market is expected to remain stable in the upcoming quarter as a result of investment and growth in the majority of industries. The Associated Chinese Chambers of Commerce and Industry of Malaysia, ACCCIM, looks forward to a better economic outlook this year. Its President, Senator Tan Sri Loh Kian Chuan, said the association hoped the government would continue strengthening the economic, fiscal and financial fundamentals, enhance a favourable investment climate, instill domestic and foreign investors' confidence and help support the ringgit. He said the Chamber's latest business and economic survey indicated that more than one-third of respondents expect better economic prospects in 2024, with close to 40% optimistic about business prospects in the second half year. Tan Sri Loh said the top three pressing business concerns are reduced consumer purchasing power, persistent cost pressures and weakening ringgit. He noted that an orderly adjustment in the ringgit and stability is crucial for better planning and business decisions. The senator further said the ACCCIM supports Prime Minister Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim's de-dollarization call to reduce dependency on the greenback over time by using the ringgit in trade settlements with major trading partners. He added that currently about 25% of Malaysia's bilateral trade with China is settled in ringgit and renminbi. Palm oil prices are expected to remain resilient, trading above 3,700 ringgit in February, with resistance at 3,950 ringgit amid the weak global demand for vegetable oil. According to the Malaysian Palm Oil Council, MPOC, weak global demand for edible oil has resulted in a significant decline in major vegetable oil prices in January 2024. MPOC said in a statement today that the price development of palm oil at the beginning of 2024 also reinforces the potential shift in global palm oil supply and demand dynamics towards a deficit growth pattern. However, it said January saw robust performance of palm oil prices, predominantly driven by subdued production caused by the monsoon and higher demand ahead of the upcoming Ramadan month, Chinese New Year and Hari Raya Aidilfitri festival. It noted that Malaysia's palm oil stocks declined to a 6-month low of 2.02 million tonnes, a decrease of 11.8%, followed by production which dropped to a 9th-month low of 1.40 million tonnes, aligning with the inventory trend. While January 2024 production dropped by 9.9% month-on-month to 1.40 million tonnes, MPOC said it still posted a year-on-year increase of 1.59%, marking the highest production level for January since 2019. RHB Research has maintained its overweight calls on the regional oil and gas (ONG) sector and maintained its 2024, 2025 and 2026 Brent crude oil price forecast at $85 and $80 per barrel. In a research note today, the research firm said the recent escalation of geopolitical tension should support oil prices in the near term, but this premium may likely normalize more in the second half of 2024, assuming that the said tensions are not ramped up further. RHB said its top picks are Yinsen Holdings and Dayang Enterprise Holdings in Malaysia, PTT Exploration and Production based in Thailand, and AKR Corporindo from Indonesia. The research house said the disruptions due to the Red Sea crisis are affecting trade flows, leading to higher freight and insurance costs as well as longer shipping routes. It also said that Europe is also importing more crude oil products from the US and West Africa as trade flows from Asia and West Asia to Europe are being disrupted. It added that in the near term, prices of certain products may surge, while over the longer term, Asia's top oil importers may diversify import sources to ensure that the supply of feedstocks is uninterrupted. US crude oil production surged to a new high of 13.3 million barrels per day (MBPD) in November 2023. RHB research said the Energy Information Administration (EIA) expects production to average at 12.9 MBPD in 2023 at 13.1 MBPD in 2024. The Malaysia External Trade Development Corporation (MATRADE), in collaboration with the RY of Entrepreneur Development and Cooperative Ministry or KUSCOP, as well as the SME Bank, will be leading 11 small and medium-sized enterprises SMEs involved in the food and beverages F&B industry in an export acceleration mission to the United Arab Emirates UAE. In a statement today, MATRADE said the mission is held in conjunction with the Gulf Food 2024 in Dubai, one of the world's biggest food, beverage and luxury foodstuff trades fair from 17 to 24 February 2024. The statement said the primary focus of this mission is to empower Malaysian SMEs to explore global markets, particularly the Middle East and North Africa MENA region, by establishing connections with prominent buyers. MATRADE Transformation and Digital Trade Division Director Khairul Nizam Munir said the mission not only served as a platform to showcase Malaysia's excellence in the F&B sector on a global stage, but provides a gateway for SMEs to access untapped markets. MATRADE added that it remained committed to continuously assisting SMEs through its collaborative efforts, which serve as effective channels for Malaysian manufacturers and professional service providers to promote their world-class products and services globally. France will this year meet a NATO alliance target to spend 2% of its gross domestic product on defence. Defence Minister Sébastien Lecornu on Thursday said this as he confirmed the figures arriving at a NATO Defence Ministers meeting where Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg said 18 out of 31 allies will meet the commitment. Former United States President Donald Trump suggested last weekend that Washington might not protect countries in the alliance that did not spend enough on their own defense. Members countries will discuss support for Ukraine at the meeting in Brussels, with Ukrainian Defense Minister Rustem Umerov joining a session in the afternoon.
Le président de la République, depuis son élection en 2017, a décidé de doubler le budget de la défense nationale française, donc d'un budget autour de 30 milliards d'euros en 2017. On sera à terme à 69 milliards d'euros, ce qui me permet de vous confirmer que la France remplira l'objectif des 2% donnés par l'OTAN, 2% du PIB, en cette année 2024. Alors la vraie question maintenant, c'est pas tant d'obtenir ces 2%, même si c'est un sujet qui a l'air de passionner beaucoup de gens, c'est de faire en sorte évidemment que ces 2% du PIB soient véritablement utiles sur le terrain militaire.
Japan has lost its status as the world's third largest economy to Germany as it unexpectedly slipped into recession in the final quarter of last year due to weak domestic demand. The government in Tokyo said today that Japan's nominal gross domestic product (GDP) in 2023 totaled $4.21 trillion, a figure which relegates Japan to number 4 in the global economy, behind Germany's $4.46 trillion. This is mainly due to the sharp fall in the value of the yen. In the quarter of October to December, Japan's economy shrank by 0.1% compared to the previous quarter for the second quarter in a row. 2 negative quarters in a row is a criterion for a technical recession. Private consumption, which accounts for more than half of Japan's economic strength, fell by 0.2%, marking the third consecutive quarter of decline, the government said. Japanese households are struggling with the rising cost of living and falling real wages, while corporate investment spending was also weak, falling by 0.1%. Minister for Economic Revitalization Yoshitaka Shindo in Tokyo meanwhile said Germany overtaking Japan shows it's imperative for them to promote structural reforms and create a new stage for growth. The US and China are the world's two largest economies. On another note, China remained Germany's most important trading partner for the 8th year in a row in 2023. Elaborating further on the matter, the Federal Statistical Office, or Destatis, said preliminary results showed that goods worth 253.1 billion euros were traded between Germany and China in 2023. Destatis noted that China continued to be by far the most important supplier country for Germany, as it has been since 2015. Telecommunications equipment, processing machines and other electronic devices as well as cars were Germany's most imported goods from China in terms of value, according to the figures. Meanwhile, Germany continues to grow economic ties with China as direct investment from Germany to China rose by more than 4% to a record 11.9 billion euros, according to the data published recently by the German Economic Institute IW. Commenting further, the German Institute said in the last 3 years alone, German companies invested as much in China as they had from 2015 to 2020. Official data showed recently that Britain's economy entered a recession in the second half of 2023 after it shrank by a worse than expected 0.3% in the 3 months to December, having also contracted by 0.1% between July and September. Commenting further on the matter, a Reuters poll of economists had pointed to a smaller 0.1% fall of gross domestic product (GDP) in the October to December period. The Bank of England, meanwhile, has said it expects the economy to pick up in 2024. However, slow growth this year would still represent a difficult backdrop for Prime Minister Rishi Sunak's attempt to woo voters ahead of a national election expected later in 2024. The Office for National Statistics, ONS, said economic output fell by 0.1% in monthly terms in December after 0.2% growth in November. The Reuters poll had pointed to a 0.2% fall in December. Sterling weakened, meanwhile moderately against the dollar and the euro shortly after the gross domestic product data release. Auto giant Stellantis today posted an 11% annual rise in annual profits to a record 18.6 billion euros for 2023. The French-Italian-US group, created from a merger of Peugeot and Citroën and Fiat Chrysler, posted an annual rise of 6% in net revenue to 189.5 billion euros after selling 6.4 million vehicles worldwide, up from 6.0 million in 2022. The group saw strong European sales of models including the Fiat Ducato, Opel Astra, as well as SUV favorites such as Peugeot 2008, Jeep Avenger and Alfa Romeo Tonale. North America, where the group gets most of its profits, was hit last year by a lengthy strike by its US workforce. That cost some 3.2 billion in lost revenue, but this was offset by strong sales in Africa, West Asia and South America. The increase in net profit is largely due to an absence of penalties on CO2 emissions or recalls on airbags, which had marred 2022. And that concludes this edition of Malaysia Tonight. In our top story, respect federal court's decision and position of the federal constitution. Till then, I'm SAHIH from the river to the sea. Palestine will be free. Thanks for watching.